What up, gang, 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 gang? How's it going, boys and girls, girls and boys from around the world? Let's jump right into it, shall we? We're going to be going over some of the best fights. We're going to be putting some of the best fights, not we, it's a video we're going to be reacting to. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. I might just do it mute. I got to keep my phone out just to make sure I don't get a notification like, hey, stop that fucking video right now. Right? But I doubt it. I don't think we will. Hopefully, I haven't even watched the video yet, so hopefully I'm not wasting my time, right? But we're going to be going over pick one anime fight out of 120 epic anime fights. So there's 60 rounds. We're going to be choosing one or the other, right? And yeah, we're going to find out what anime fight is better than what. It's not like a tournament in a sense of like, I know it says tournament in the title. I'll probably change it. But we're just going to be picking one anime fight each round. Maybe we could do this thing where I get all these fights together at the end and then I put them together in a tournament style base and see what the best anime fight of all time is. But for now, it's just a little fun game. You know what I mean? It's what? It's what day is it? It's Monday. We're just having a little chill Monday. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm going to start it here in a sec. Just waiting for some peeps to get in here so we could play it together. That's my lady's fucking lipstick on my cup. I did a Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 trailer reaction, and it got copyrighted. So if you're watching that and there's like skips here and there, yeah. I couldn't show the full fucking trailer because... it got copyrighted by the damn whoever uploaded that video or whoever made the trailer. Put the music in the trailer gets copyrighted. It's so dumb. That's the first time that's ever happened to me with an anime trailer. Like, it makes no sense. Or a game trailer, a movie trailer. Like, they're always usually okay to put on YouTube. But yeah, here we are, Jujutsu Kaisen in 2025. Can't even react to a trailer drop because of copyright. I'm like, all right, I don't want to promote your I don't want to promote your new anime then. You know what I mean? Let me I'm just gonna get chat set up here before we start. Chatamungo, what's going on, baby? How's it going? Hey, you cannot touch this. Come over here. Don't start your crying. Missile, don't start your crying. Yeah, punk. Alright, let me set this up. Let me set this up. How do I do this? Right there. Boom. There we go. That is... I guess that's what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Alright, we're going to be starting here shortly. I promise. All right. We're live, chat. We are live. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? We're about to start the video right now. Let me just make sure it looks good for my portrait mode. Chatamungers real quick. Should be good.
This is Saya Quiz. Pick one fight for each round.
Okay.
Let's play.
Ooh, okay. Goku versus Frieza? Or Oh, Gaara versus Lee, bro. Bruh, Goku versus Frieza or Gaara versus Lee, chat? What? That's so hard to pick, bro. Who do we pick, bro? Oh no, cause it's like Goku versus Frieza, iconic, right? Iconic. This is one of the hardest fights to pick from because Goku versus Frieza or Goku versus Frieza is none of these things would be here. That's what I'm saying. This is a semifinals match right here for sure. You know what I mean? Like Rock Lee and Gaara wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Goku and Frieza, but Rock Lee and Gaara go so stupidly hard. You know what I mean? Like this would go so dummy hard. It's not even... What do we think, chat? What are we thinking? I'm leaning... I'm not going to lie. I know you guys are probably knowing what I'm going to say after I said that. I'm leaning to Gaara versus Lee just because the animation is more up to date and the fight was so sick and the sequences were so hardcore. But Goku versus Frieza, bro, we got Super Saiyan 1, brother. We got Super Saiyan 1, bro. And it was like dramatically good. But like Rock Lee and Gaara was still dramatic. Like the drama was there for Rock Lee and Gaara. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know. I'm thinking Rock Lee and Gaara. But Goku and Frieza is like... It's hard to not pick that fight against any fight. You know what I mean? But we got the weight drops with Rock Lee, though, bro. We got the weight drops. What's more iconic? The weight drops? No, that's a stupid question. I was going to say the weight drops or Super Saiyan 1. Obviously Super Saiyan 1. But, like, as a whole, like, all right, we can't just be like Goku Frieza because Goku Frieza is the godfather of anime. We can't do that. We got to be objectively clear here. The fight itself, the animation, the hand to hand combat, the choreography, the drama, right? These are all things we're judging this off of. I think Gaara versus Lee beats Goku versus Frieza. I think Super Saiyan was super dramatic. But in terms of animation, choreography, the fight itself, dude, I think Gaara versus Lee got Goku and Frieza beat. I'm going Gaara versus Lee, boys. Alright. Next one. Oh my god, Ichigo versus Grimmjow 3 versus... Oh, Luffy versus Lucci. No, this is so hard. Oh no. Off principle, Goku versus Frieza, but Gaara versus Lee goes hard. Fuck, it's a draw. Facts, huh? It could. That's low-key a draw. Off principle, though, I get, yeah. But we can't go off principle. We gotta go objectively. Like, if you've never seen anime before, and you just watched the two fights, right? Or not even if you haven't seen anime before. Just think of it objectively. Like, what is the better just fight? Like, what's more entertaining to watch? What had the better fight scene? I just personally think the animation and the dramatic effect of Rock Lee and Gaara was better than Frieza versus Goku. Like, Frieza versus Goku was dope. Do not get me wrong. But it's a lot of the same animation repeated over and over again, right? The animation just wasn't up to date. If we got a brand new remastered Dragon Ball Z, that shit would go insanely hard depending on what studio makes it because the fight choreography would be fucking ridiculous. But we all know the old school DBZ animation was like same thing looped over and over again because they're punching so fast you could barely see it and they ran with that so much. You know what I mean? Now, this is the thing. Grimmjow versus Ichigo and Luffy versus Lucci. This is actually pretty fucking tough right here because Luffy versus Lucci was a drawn out fight, but not as drawn out as Ichigo and Grimmjow was. And also it has that effect of like the fucking the Bleach motherfuckers were fighting the Espada for so many episodes, and there were so many of them. You're just like, bro, they ain't gonna win this, bro. And then when Ichigo and fucking Grimmjow fight, you're just like, hey, no way, Grimmjow's got him beat, you know. But Ichigo comes through, awakening his fucking hollow. But then Luffy Gear 2, bro. So what's more iconic? Luffy's Gear 2 and doing his bounce around. And then the effects on the line of like, oh, he's going so fast that this is going to be a detriment on his life and he's going to die sooner. Like Luffy's Gear 2 or the first time Ichigo awakens his hollow to beat Grimmjow? Like, what's more iconic? I'm not going to lie. I'm very biased here. I'm going to say Luffy and Lucci in bias. So I'm going to need a little bit of help from chat with this one. You know what I mean? I'm going to need a little bit of help. I'm thinking Luffy and Lucci is just a little bit more iconic. I think that whole fight sequence... Come here, you dork. Bro literally just fell on his butt. He's just tired. Alright. Yeah, I think it's Luffy and Lucci. I think the whole Gear Second is just so good. You know what I mean? Like, it's so iconic. I think Ichigo and Grimmjow was a great fight, but I don't think it beats Luffy and Lucci. I just don't think it beats Luffy and Lucci. I think Gear Second to One Piece is almost what Super Saiyan 1 is to Dragon Ball Z, right? Like I'm super biased, bro. I got my fucking... You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got my fucking... straw hat. You can't even really see it, but I got my wanted posters up back there. Yeah, we big One Piece over here, boy. So funny story. I named my son Bear after Kuma, because Kuma means bear in Japanese. And then right when my lady got pregnant, his mother, that was when Kuma's backstory was coming out in the manga. So I was like, how about Bear? She don't even know. She don't even know I named him after an anime character, dog. I finessed an anime character's name for my son, bro. Anyway, Luffy versus Lucci. In my opinion, I think I was making a good point here. Gear Second to One Piece is what Super Saiyan 1 is to Dragon Ball in a way. And I don't think that when Ichigo awakened his hollow here, I don't think that holds the same standard. I think when he fully awakens his entire hollow form, or whatever his fucking form is, I forget, I think that's more iconic to Bleach than this moment here, if that makes sense. So I think I'm going Luffy versus Lucci. So we got what? Luffy versus Lucci versus Gaara versus Rock Lee in the first bracket of winners. Low-key, I should write this down. Let me get a little notebook to write this down, because I low-key do want to make a tournament out of this. I want to make a tournament, and then we'll put graphics, like colored, or not graphics, but pictures up to keep track of everything. Here, give me a second. Gotta get a fucking paper. Just to jot down. The names. So first one, we got Lee versus Gaara. I don't know how to spell Gaara. Is it 2 A's or 2 R's? I don't know. Doesn't care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't care. And then Luffy versus Lucci. And then we could do a losers bracket too. You know what I mean? All right, that's going to be the first winner bracket. All right, next up. Ooh, Kaneki versus Jason. Okay, Tokyo Ghoul. Oh, Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui. Ooh. Okay. This is a good one. Kaneki and Jason is hella throwback for me. This is Tokyo Ghoul's one of the first anime I ever watched. And actually like sat there and was like, yep, I'm an anime nerd. But Demon Slayer, on the other hand, I really wasn't feeling it until this fight with Rui. I thought Rui was fucking sick. So, I've only seen the first one, brother. You gotta watch Demon Slayer. Fight scenes peak, bro. Fight scenes peak. If you love fight anime, Demon Slayer is up there for sure in terms of fight scenes. Kaneki versus Jason, though, is iconic. As an anime fight, it's an underrated, iconic anime fight, to be honest. That was a sick fight. Like, that was when Kaneki awakens his full ghoul form, right? If I'm not mistaken. Jason was, like, torturing him. And then he finally was like, all right, I had enough of this. That's why he has those handcuffs on. And he kills Jason. And that's where he accepts his ghoul, right? His inner ghoul. But Rui, though, had these motherfuckers. This was the Demon Slayer's, Tanjiro's real first test before he became a Hashira. Well, he's not even technically a Hashira yet. But this was his real first, like, real test. Like, one of the, I think he's a lower, like, Rui was one of the lower moons. And it wasn't just Rui, it was his whole family. So if you think about it, it's like 2v5 or 6. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure in Yosuke and Zenitsu were helping them out, to be honest. But in the end fight, it was just Nezuko and Tanjiro versus Rui. And Rui is the Doflamingo of Demon Slayer, right? In terms of his power, he's pretty much like the Doflamingo of Demon Slayer. I think I'm gonna go Tanjiro and Nezuko. Versus Rui. That's what really, like, I was fucking with Demon Slayer, but I was like, okay, this is a cool anime. And then it got to this part of the first season, and I was like, I'm all in. I'm in there. I'm in that bitch. I'm in that hoe. I fucking loved Rui. I thought Rui was dope. I loved his power. I loved his family. His family was crazy. Like, everyone was like a fucking insect demon. That shit was hard. And Rui was just, he was the man. Even though his dad and his mom were the fucking demons too, he was the fucking shit. So, yeah, I'm going Tanjiro Nezuko versus Rui. That's what got me, like, hooked to Demon Slayer. Kaneki versus Jason was good, but then it kind of fell off after that. Ooh, okay. Seiya versus Aoi, or Aeolia. STTGL versus Anti-Spiral. That's a Gurren Lagann or whatever, however you say it. I'm going STTG. Well, I haven't seen the Seiya anime, to be honest with you. Can't front. And I've seen a little bit of Gurren Lagann, and I have seen, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. But I have seen this fight over here on the right, and let me tell you, it goes fucking hard. It goes hard. The animation's dope. I love this fight, the STTGL versus Anti-Spiral. I don't even know what STTGL even stands for. I can't even hold you. I just remember watching this fight as a young lad getting into anime. I didn't watch the Seiya fight. I didn't watch the Seiya's anime, whatever the fuck it is. It does go hard though, to be honest. I have watched the new movie on Netflix like 3 years ago. But the one on the right, we're going STTGL something Gurren Lagann versus Anti-Spiral. These are literally like galactic level mechs fighting each other. Like, it's literally like two, what is his name from the Fantastic Four? What is the fucking dude's name? Galactus, whatever, Galactus. It's like two Galactuses fighting each other. Like canon Galactuses fighting each other, to be honest. Like, they're hitting each other with universes, bro. That shit goes hard. You gotta check it out. And let's just say this. Let's throw this out there. There will be fights I haven't seen either. I haven't seen every fucking anime, but I've seen enough to be like, okay, I know, okay. Okay, Yusuke versus Toguro. Gojo versus Toji is not even close. Listen, I know I'm gonna get some hate from well, I can't even think of the anime. Fucking Yosuke, fucking Spirit Finger Bomb, Spirit Gun. What the fuck is the damn anime? Oh my god, I'm on in the spotlight right now, and I can't think of the anime name. Holy shit. This is a big asterisk on my record right now. Because I can't think of the fucking stupid name. What the fuck is the name of that anime? I don't want to look it up because I don't want to seem like a fucking casual. God damn it. It is Spirit Gun. Spirit Gun. It is the fucking dude is like the main villain of the show. And it's a good fight, but it is another one of those 90s fights scenes, you know, where it's kind of like repetitive animation. It's a good fight. It's like older anime fights relied more on like drama and storytelling rather than animation itself, so it is a good fight. But you can't even lie, Gojo versus Toji, dog. You can't. If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, they got peak fight scenes right next to Naruto, in my opinion, in terms of choreography. I put Gojo and Toji, or not Gojo, but Jujutsu Kaisen in general. But yeah, I'm gonna go Gojo Toji 2. This one's kind of just, it's hard to pick Yosuke and Tojiro because it's just so outdated, right? Like I said, it's one of those anime where like if it got a reanimation from an insane studio, it would be one of the best fights in anime history in terms of, like I said, I'm looking for animation quality, and that's not the only thing, right? It's not the only thing, but when you get animation quality mixed with animation or choreography itself, and then just the sheer story it holds, like Yosuke and Tojiro has sheer story over Gojo and Toji, but it doesn't have animation or choreography over Goji versus Toji. So Goji versus Toji, and in Jujutsu Kaisen, that's when one of the scariest motherfuckers of all time dies. Like, I didn't think Toji was ever gonna die. I thought he was a goon. I thought he was gonna fucking kill everybody, to be honest. I was like, how the fuck does this dude even make any sense? He ain't got no cursed energy. He's just straight. Toji's literally the Rock Lee of Jujutsu Kaisen, and then his daughter ends up being one of the strongest, right? Tomi, or whatever her name is. So I'm going Gojo Toji. Yeah, it's kind of unfair to judge it like that, right? The story is great, but the quality is lacked, so it's kind of like, it's unfair because of the time of when the anime came out. Like, don't get me wrong, that fight is iconic, and a lot of people put what the fuck ever that anime is. What the fuck is it? I'm just gonna look it up real quick. Yu Yu Hakusho. Jeez, I'm so stupid. Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho. It's tough to put old animes up against new animes. I wish this would have done it. I wish whoever made this video would have done it more where it's like old versus old, because then you would have got a better, you know, we would have had a better argument, because I'm looking at this strictly off of just no objectiveness, what fight scene is better. And you can't compare old anime to new anime because it's going to lose almost every time depending on what the new anime is. All right. What is this? Round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round 6. Ooh, Yuta versus Geto. Okay. Oh, yep. All right. So I'm already going to make my decision. Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki. That is my favorite anime fight scene of all time. It's my favorite anime fight of all time, when Sasuke throws his kunai and Momoshiki catches it, and then he trades his fucking Chidori for the kunai with his fucking Tsukiyomi. No, not Tsukiyomi. What is it called? Kamui. That was the coldest shit I ever seen in my life. Like, he was showing flying Raijin levels of IQ, Sasuke was, during this fight. And, you know, like, bro, I'm an Uchiha member till the day I die, okay? So, we gotta go Naruto Sasuke versus Momoshiki. But Yuta versus Geto was fucking sick. But in my opinion, though, like, Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki is the bar for best anime fight of all time. Yeah, Naruto, not even a discussion. I think so too. I think it's, in my opinion, I know it's in Boruto, but I think Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki is the best anime fight in terms of choreography, animation, heavily both of those, choreography and animation, because the story of it is okay, right? It's not like the most compelling story. Like, Momoshiki was cool, and I did want him to die. UT and Geto does have more of a story, on a weight in the story department. I think they do beat Naruto and Sasuke here, and the choreography and animation is great. It's up to par with it, but I think Naruto and Sasuke have the choreography and animation up just a little bit more, especially that choreography. Just the IQ level plays Sasuke and Naruto were doing to get the up on Momoshiki. Peak. So we're going Naruto, Sasuke versus Momoshiki. And this is what we're going to do. Once we get all of the fights, all of the winner bracket fights, I'm going to get them all, write them all down, and then I am going to edit kind of like what's it called? A project thing, a little, and a slideshow, right? To where we could do part 2, because I want to do part 2, see what the best number 1 anime fight scene is, for what we got. And thanks to IGN for making the first round for us. But yeah, we're going to go based off of IGN's bracket here. So I got them all written down. We're just going to keep writing these down. Round, 7 or 8? All right, round 7. Ooh, Eren versus Annie? Okay. Ooh, Sanji versus Queen, bro. I can't hold you. Attack on Titan is my favorite anime of all time. One Piece is my favorite story of all time. But I gotta go with Sanji versus Queen. I think there's better fights in Attack on Titan. I thought Eren versus Reiner was a better fight than Annie versus Eren. Even though Eren whooped Reiner's ass pretty much the whole time. I do jiu-jitsu, right? You can see all my medals back there. Eren was hitting high-level jiu-jitsu again, high-level Titan jiu-jitsu, and that shit made me geek when I seen that shit. When he threw up the fucking triangle, the Kimura, the armbar, snapped his fucking arm, had him in a guillotine, was about to break his neck. That was fucking cold. I think that's better than Annie versus Eren. So, Queen versus Sanji, though. That shit was hard, boy. I love Sanji, man. I think he doesn't get enough love. I'm not a Sanji stan. I'm not a Zoro stan either. I'm a Straw Hat stan. And I think Sanji versus Queen was fucking sick. Especially when Sanji breaks out his fucking biomechanical body and he breaks Queen's fucking big-ass sword that he has right there. Shatters it. Queen, that fucking huge-ass dinosaur, comes down with all his weight, hits Sanji. Boom! Shatters his sword. Sanji is kind of like broken in half, but then he's like, damn, that hurt. I'm good, though. Which makes me go, could Sanji tank a Zoro sword slash? Like, would his body just break and then, like, he just re-heals himself? Like, is Sanji technically immortal? Like, how far to an extent does his mechanical body go? Like, his biomechanical body go? You know what I mean? I'm going Sanji versus Queen here. I thought the animation was peak. I thought the choreography was fucking awesome. Choreography for Attack on Titan was great, too. But right now, in terms of animation with fight scenes, like when they show the fight, not a lot of animation beats One Piece. And I'm not trying to be biased saying that. I'm really not. Like, there are some, but One Piece, when it focuses on the fight scenes, is one peak. We all know that. So we got Sanji versus Queen. We'll see who they verse in the bracket later on. Ooh, Midoriya versus Muscular. Okay, that was Midoriya's first test. That was his first real test of, hey, this is I ain't got no one to help me out. I ain't got no one to help me out, and this motherfucker's about to kill me and all my friends. If he gets past me, all my friends are dead. All my friends are dead. So that iconic fight for Deku. He had to go past his limit in this fight. Ooh, okay. Scar versus Bradley. Alright. I think Scar versus Bradley is Full Metal Alchemist. And Full Metal Alchemist and MHA, I see what you're doing, IGN. They were both made by the same studio. Not made, but both animated by the same studio. Scar versus Bradley is dope. MHA, or Full Metal Alchemist FMA has some great fights, great animation. The same studio creates MHA, so a lot of the same animation you could tell is inspired from Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Jesus. I'm not gonna front you guys, okay? I'm not gonna front you guys. I haven't finished Full Metal Alchemist. I know who Scar and Bradley are. I didn't even get to this fight yet. I'm not even halfway done with Full Metal Alchemist, and that's a shame. I know it is. It is a shame when you have a fuck ton of anime that you get distracted. I'm like ADHD when it comes to anime. I find one thing, I watch it, I like it, and then I find another thing because I'm like, I just got to have more different stories, animes, until something gets me hooked to where I'm just like, I can't stop watching this. And I thought FMA was good. I was like that with My Hero Academia. I even started reading the manga, but then I got burnt out with the superhero shit. And it kind of just went down a road where I was like, okay, I know where this is going. I know how this ends. So, but in terms of these two fights, I'm going to go Midoriya versus Muscular. I think this fight was a coming, what is that saying? Midoriya versus Muscular. I think this was a coming to age fight here for Deku. This was a turning point for Deku's character. The fight was fucking awesome. Like, to be honest, it was amazing. I thought Muscular's fucking power, his quirk is fucking sick. He could just keep literally Muscular, just building more and more muscle on top of his muscle. So he's kind of like a watered down version of One for All. Right? But at the same time, so this is what I thought with All Might, right? Deku is the first person to get One for All without a quirk out of all the other users. They all had quirks, right? So that means All Might had a quirk, and I think his quirk is to make himself into All Might. From skinny little dude into All Might. I think that was his quirk. And I think he relied on his quirk more than he relied on All for One, right? I think he had like the senses, like the spider senses. You never see All Might use Black Whip. You never see him use any of the other, floating. He might have used float a little bit in a sense, but I feel like All Might relied on his All Might quirk more than anything, and it was just something that they never really touched on a lot in MHA. I wish they would, because you could tell after he gives the power to Deku, he doesn't have the power anymore, but he still could go into his All Might version for, 5 seconds, 2 seconds? So I think that was his quirk, right? So Midoriya is the first person technically to get All for One without a quirk, and he still does this type of shit. He's whooping dudes without any previous quirks, and he's whooping guys who have had their quirk their whole life. Scar versus Bradley, though, highly recommend. Very good fight scene. I have seen clips of it, and I don't really know too much. I don't have too much weight on Scar versus Bradley, but I do have a lot of stock on Midoriya versus Muscular. So we're going with Midoriya versus Muscular. And then we got Sanji versus Queen versus Midoriya versus Muscular. Ooh, okay. Zaraki versus Neutra. Ooh, Kenpachi, baby. Silva and Zeno versus Trollo. What the fuck anime is that from? Is that Hunter x Hunter? It is, right? I think it is. I don't watch Hunter x Hunter. If it is Hunter x Hunter. I think it is Hunter x Hunter. If it's not, it's JoJo's. But I don't think it's JoJo's. That doesn't look like JoJo's. It looks like Hunter x Hunter. And I don't watch Hunter x Hunter, man. Hisoka, man. Threw me off. Threw me off. We're going Kenpachi versus Neutra. Neutra's fucking hard. He was cool as fuck. He has a crazy ass Bankai. And listen, Kenpachi though, that boy, Bleach. I can't fucking talk today. Favorite. You know what I mean? He is a fan favorite in the Bleach community. He's one of my favorites. I'm going Kenpachi versus Neutro here. Kenpachi, man, when he gets on screen, it's hard not to like him. You know what I mean? It's hard not to like him. And it's been so long since I seen that fight. Neutra was so annoying but cool. You know what I mean? Like, I liked him more than I liked Grimmjow, to be honest. I fucked with Neutra. He was menacing. He kind of reminded me of like a masochist in a way, where he was kind of like Kenpachi, because Kenpachi's a total masochist. He likes pain. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, Kenpachi met his match. But then when we're watching it, we're just like, Kenpachi's just way stronger than everybody. Like, even when he's holding back, he's just way stronger than everybody. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Light versus Asta and Yuno. And then Goku Vegeta versus Broly. Okay. So I don't watch Black Clover. I'm gonna need some input from peeps in the chat. If you've seen Black Clover, let me know what you guys think. This isn't just my opinion. I hope you guys know that. Like, I'm listening to you guys. If you guys have something to say, speak up or forever hold your peace. Because if I haven't seen an anime, but you guys vouch for it, and you guys seen both, right? I will pick whatever you guys think is correct. But Goku versus Vegeta, or Goku and Vegeta versus Broly, dog. I watched that shit in theaters. I thought that was hard. I thought that's the best thing that's come out of Super, to be honest. And it was like a fucking 30-minute fight scene. Like, it was so good. You kind of can't compare a movie fight scene to an anime fight scene, because they just have so much higher budget and so much more room to work with in terms of time and creativity and like the soundtrack. Let's not forget the soundtrack of the Goku versus and Vegeta versus Broly, like the fucking hardcore heavy metal. And bro, when Broly was smashing Vegeta through the mountains and hitting him, and then Vegeta's like, all right, bro, I gotta turn up on your ass and go Super Saiyan God. Oh, man, I'm going Goku and Vegeta versus Broly. That's my opinion. I haven't seen Black Clover. I've seen a couple episodes. It starts off super slow, and it's a little too slow for me. And I say that after watching Frieren. I love Frieren. So no anime could be too slow for me after that, right? All right, so then we got Kenpachi and Neutra versus Goku Vegeta versus Broly. All right. What's next? Mob and Koyama. Okay. That was a hard fight. I love Mob Psycho. Iki versus Shaka. Okay, another Seiya fight, or another Seiya fight scene. I'm going Mob versus what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. What was his name? Kayama. Yeah, I'm going Mob versus Koyama. The Mob fight scenes are so fucking clean. So hard. Mob Psycho is super... I don't know how. Mob Psycho is super underrated. Like, when it goes, it goes. And it doesn't hold back. And I like it more... I hate this, what I'm about to say. I like it more than One Punch Man. I hate that because I like One Punch Man a lot. I love the animation. I love the fight scenes. But there's just nothing. They don't give us nothing. It's 2 seasons, bro. When did One Punch Man come out, bro? 2017, 2018? And there's only been 2 seasons, bro? Are you kidding me? Like, for real, are you kidding me? I used to read the manga, but the manga just gets... It's just so much. There's like 60-page fucking mangas, or manga chapters, and I'm like, bro, I can't read 60 pages back to back to back to back to back. I gotta take time reading that shit. And it just doesn't do the anime justice. The manga, or the anime doesn't do the manga justice. It's just so much funner watching One Punch Man. But, alright. So, we got Mob and Koyoma. That's what I'm going with. Because lovely chat doesn't want to voice their opinions. Koyama. Ooh, okay. Samurai Champloo. Oh, Shinra and Sho, bro. Alright, this is going to be one of those where the story is going to win it here. But the animation and the choreography was sick. I love Fire Force. Fire Force is dope. Samurai Champloo is dope in its respective rights. But it's hard for me to go against Shinra. He's so sick. Samurai Champloo's dope, though. Karya versus Mugen and Jin, bro. Like, a 1v2 in a sword fight is kind of crazy, though. Like, you're him. There's that argument that Korea would have won if he wasn't fighting Jin, right, and his homie. There is that argument. And I don't know, maybe he did. Am I misremembering? I don't remember that fight scene totally. Pretty sure Jin won. Jin and his homie. But Shinra versus Sho, bro. 2 brothers that have had this weird rivalry with each other for so long. I think I'm going Shinra versus Sho. It's the story of the brothers that gets me. It's like a Naruto Sasuke thing. And plus the animation was just good. It was just great. Shinra versus Sho. That's what we're doing. Alright, who do we got next? Gintoki versus Oboro? Okay. Oboro? Chun-Li versus Vega. Alright, I ain't gonna even hold you. I haven't even seen either of these. I haven't even seen either of these, brother. What the fuck is that first anime? That shit looks hard, bruh. Chun-Li versus Vega. That's Street Fighter. I've seen that. I've seen the movie. They're basing it off the movie. I've seen the Gintoki versus Oboro. I remember the dude with the mask. What the fuck is that from? Is that from that one? It's got a sword in its name, I think. Let me see. Yeah, Gintama. Yeah. I was gonna actually start that. That's funny. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go Gintoki versus Oboro because I remember watching the Street Fighter anime and I was like, this shit's alright. I expected a lot more. Alright, what's next? Ooh, goated fight. Oh, damn, bro. Alright, Yubahara versus, how the fuck you say this new dude's name? Ichibe. And then we got Miriam versus Netero, bro. I'm going Miriam and Netero, dog. That fucking speech Netero gave with the prayers. Like, you think I need both hands to say a prayer, dog? You tripping. And then he fucking was laying his smackdown on him before he died. That was a fucking fight scene and a half right there. Don't get me wrong, Iwahara and Ichibe is a great fight. And Thousand Year Blood War Bleach is amazing animation. But the drama and the animation is up to par. And the choreography is up to par with the Netero fight. So I'm going to go Netero and Miriam. Like, it's hard not to pick Netero and Miriam because it's one of the best fights in Hunter x Hunter. It almost got me to want to watch it. I can't lie. It almost got me to go, hey, I got to sit and watch this anime and not just watch the fight scenes. But Yubihara, man, that Thousand Year Blood War is fucking amazing. Oh, you could put every fight in Thousand Year Blood War on this. Kirito and Heathcliff too. What is that? Shield Hero or something? Oda versus Gide. I've never even seen this one. Never even seen it. Either one. I've never seen either one, chat. Ooh, Luffy and Kaido. The final fight. Bro, Gohan versus Cell, bro. Oh, they done did it to me, chat. They done did it to me, bro. The first time I ever fucking cried to an anime, first and pretty much only time, the only other time I ever cried during an anime was when Eren was looking at the sunset in the final season of Attack on Titan when they visited that village. Bro, stop. Hey, stop. I'm just gonna let you do your thing. That's my son in the background. Y'all just gotta deal with it. So Eren smiling at the sunset when he took the Jaegerists out to like adventure. And not adventure, but to go forth with his plans, and they ended up at that village, and they were all partying, and Eren looks at the sunset, and he smiles. That made me cry. But the first time I ever cried watching an anime was when Goku sacrificed himself to hopefully kill Cell, right? And he made that whole spiel to Gohan. I was like, fuck, I love Goku. You know? And, yeah. I thought Kaido versus Luffy Gear 5 was hard. I thought it was dope. I did not really enjoy Gear 5's reveal. I liked the first, 5 minutes of it, right? When he was with the animation of Luffy transforming and the colors and the heartbeat and fucking the drums of liberation. I thought that was sick. And then he starts bouncing around and they reused the same shot 4 fucking times. That pissed me off so bad. If you go back and watch the reveal episode for Gear 5, they reused the same scene. The same jumping scene. Why? The same scene 4 times? They reused the same scene 4 fucking times? I know this is not the reveal, tournament, but it is Luffy and Kaido versus Gohan and Cell. Bro, Father Son Kamehameha versus Gear 5, bro. Super Saiyan 2. Dude, oh man. I want to pick Gohan versus Cell. Recency bias makes me want to go Kaido versus Luffy because the animation was just fucking insane. But I do think Gohan and Cell is probably the best thing in Dragon Ball Z. So we're putting up the best story arc of Dragon Ball Z versus Kaido versus Luffy, which probably won't be the best fight of One Piece. So I'm gonna go Gohan versus Cell. Super Saiyan 2 is iconic. Father Son Kamehameha was amazing. Cell, Perfect Cell was probably the best villain and the best story of DBZ. So we're going that. We're going to go Gohan versus Cell. And yeah, bro, Android 16 sacrificing himself, dog. Another tearjerker. Just the sheer emotions fighting Cell, bro. One arm Kamehameha, bro. Ooh, Tokito versus Gyoko. Okay. Some more Demon Slayer. Shogo versus Kogami. I don't know what Shogo and Kogami is. I don't know what fight that's from. What anime is that? Does anybody know the anime? Because if not, I'm going Tojiro. Krillin Wild, though. Yeah, I mean, I would. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I would. Krillin, listen, this is how I look at it. Krillin seen an opportunity, and he took it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Alright, we're going Tokito versus Gyoko. Easy all day, every day. That fight was sick. Tokito was stuck in like a water bubble. And he had to find a way to get out of it by breathing, by using his wind breathing. It was so hard. I loved it. I love Tokito. He's badass. And he awakened his scar, so he got that much stronger. Mob versus Toichiro? Okay. Was that season 1, right? Ooh, Kurapika versus Vogan. Bro, Kurapika had the coldest monologue of all time fighting Vogan. The coldest monologue of all time. And he was fighting him during the Blood Moon, so he was just way stronger. Mob and Toichiro was dope. I'm going to go Kurapika versus Vogan. I think it was more iconic, to be honest. I think it was a little more iconic, and Kurapika's what's it called? His monologue that he gave Homeboy before he killed him. I don't watch Hunter x Hunter, but I will watch the fights because they are sick. And Mob Psychos was dope too, but it doesn't hold the same weight, to be honest. We're probably going to do, what, like 3 more minutes of the video, and then we'll probably cut it and do part 2, because I do got to put this baby to sleep soon. It's getting kind of late for him. It's not past his bedtime per se, but it's almost. It's almost getting there. Oh, Vegeta versus Goku. Saitama versus Boros. Brother. Alright, now this is where story versus animation is going to really take a big impact. Because Saitama, you can't hold any weight in terms of story into any fight, right? In One Punch Man, there is no story. There is no deep, conflicting thing there, right? There's just not. And Saitama versus Boros, what, lasted 2 episodes? Maybe 3? Maybe 2 to 3 episodes? Vegeta versus Goku, though, is way more iconic. The choreography was decent, but there's just so much going on with Goku versus Vegeta. Vegeta gets there, fucking kidnaps Gohan, kills fucking Piccolo and Goku off rip, Raditz. Goku comes back from Snake Way. Everyone's all fucked up. He comes back learning Kaioken. Fucking Vegeta's like, yeah, well, fight me in my ape form. Fucking creates a moon. Creates his own sun, star, moon, whatever. Goes ape form. Then they gotta fight him there. Right? Like, I think Vegeta versus Goku, story-wise, is way, like, leaps and bounds better than Saitama versus Boros. So that, like, bleeds into the animation and choreography. Because, obviously, Saitama and Boros has way better animation and choreography, but the story outweighs so much more, like tenfold more than Saitama and Boros, because Saitama's just a gag character. There's not ever going to be anything deeper than that. So we're going Goku versus Vegeta. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Alright, what's next? Ooh, Ichigo versus Aizen. I'm probably just gonna pick that off rip, to be honest. Oh, fuck. Alright, hold on. This might just come down to, like, who's the better villain? Who do I like more as a villain? I loved Pain. Don't get me wrong. I'll never forget him for what he did to my boy Jiraiya, though. Can't even lie. Can't even lie. But Aizen, though. Aizen is so fucking sick in this fight with Ichigo. This is what is the most iconic part of Bleach, is the Ichigo versus Aizen. When Ichigo fully awakens, you know, pre-Thousand Year Blood War, when he fully awakens his hollow form or whatever his... I forget his form name. It's been so long since I've watched Bleach. Bleach is one of those where I watched it once as a kid all the way through, never watched it again, but then got it back into Thousand Year Blood War. Naruto, I watch every other year. But this fight, though, and I love Aizen more than Pain, so I'm going to go Ichigo versus Aizen. I think this is the most iconic part of Bleach, to be honest. And Aizen, bro, if he really would have just awakened his Bankai, I think he would have won if he would have just used his Bankai, if he has one. Most likely does have one. If he didn't just rely on his Shikai, he probably would have won. But I think pride got to him. I think he thought he was above it all, and not really knowing the true bloodline of Ichigo. And plus, Pain killed Jiraiya. Fuck you, Pain. You don't win this. Okay, Gintoki versus Takasugi. That's another Gintama. Ooh, Kenshin versus Saito. Now, Kenshin, for an old anime, had great choreography. I will say that. I don't know Gintama like that, but I did watch Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin, so I'm going to go Kenshin versus Saito. We're speeding things up here a little bit just because my son, and then we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Okay? So make sure you guys, if you're in the chat, if you're new to the chat, new to the channel, subscribe, become a member if you want, support the channel in any way, please and thank you. But Kenshin versus Saito for an old anime is fucking dope because the choreography and this is the weird thing about old school anime. Hand-to-hand combat choreography wasn't great, but sword fighting choreography was really good for some reason in terms of old anime. Like Rurouni Kenshin is just prime example how good choreography was back in the day with sword fighting anime. Ooh, Sukuna versus Jogo. I don't know what the fuck I was reading right there. Oh my god, Ace versus Blackbeard. Ooh, this is good. Ace versus Blackbeard. Wow, am I misremembering Ace versus Blackbeard kind of being off-screened? Right? Like, wasn't a majority of the fight off-screen, like the ending? Or did Ace run away? Why am I misremembering that? I should know that one. But, so the thing is, Ace versus Blackbeard was a fun fight, right? It was an early anime, or early One Piece, so the choreography wasn't the best. So, Jujutsu Kaisen is definitely going to get the advantage there for animation and choreography. Animation, not by a lot, because it's still good animation. But choreography, 100% goes to Sukuna versus Jogo. Story-wise, Sukuna was pretty much just flexing, showing us what he could do, showing us that Jogo is literally one of the weakest fighters in Jujutsu Kaisen in terms of, like, not one of the weakest, he is strong, but compared to Sukuna, right? But who's not weak compared to him? But Ace versus Blackbeard held a lot of weight in terms of story. But just objectively the better fight, though, I would have to say Sukuna versus Jogo. Even though it was a one-sided fight, the animation, The choreography was a lot cooler, in my opinion, than Ace versus Blackbeard. Feel free to chime in if you think I'm wrong. I'm taking all opinions. All right, what's next? Ooh. Whoa. I didn't mean to do that. All right, so we got why can't I think of the anime on the left? It's one where their clothes turn into fucking weapons. It's like Soul Eater but with clothes and sexy women. That's probably arguably the sexiest women in all of anime. I can't think of the name. Why can't I think of the name? Anyway, I'm gonna go Ryuko and Sasuke versus Ragyo. I haven't even seen this triple threat over here on the right. That shit looks lit though. Urza versus Minerva versus Kagura. What is that? What anime is that? It looks kind of like Akame got killed, kind of. I know it's not, but it kind of looks like it. And then I'm totally spacing out on the anime on the left. I've watched it. I've watched a majority of it. And it does have great fight scenes. But I kind of stopped watching it because I felt weird watching it. Because I was like, I don't know if I should be turned on while watching this. So we're going to go Ryuko versus Ragyo. Alright. What's next? Ooh, Denji and Katana, man. That was a good fight. Banger fight. New Isol versus Isol, bro. Okay. To Be Hero X. This fucking dude. This video is recent as fuck. To Be Hero X, bro, is so good. I'm not the biggest fan of Chainsaw Man. The fight scene was sick. This is a good example of choreography and animation both meeting each other, but what had the better story? And this is for sure To Be Hero X. New Isol versus Isol, bro. Peak, bro. Peak. Ah, man. To Be Hero X is so good. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you like superheroes, we're going Isol versus New Isol. 100%, bro. And don't get me wrong, Denji versus Katana Man was like, it was sick. And there was some weight behind it, right? There is some good story drama there, but I don't think it goes as deep as New Isol and Old Isol. Isol is literally a kid who looked up to Isol, and Isol becomes evil, so he fucking stops his ass. Like, bro, yeah, we gotta go Isol versus New Isol, man. You hear the music? Ooh, Doppio versus Risotto. We finally got a JoJo's fight. Sakamoto versus Kashima, though. Okay. I'm going to be real with y'all. And I'm probably going to get some slack for this, too. Haven't watched JoJo's as much as I would like. I haven't watched this fight. I love Sakamoto Days. I read the manga. I'm going to go Sakamoto versus Kashima. What the fuck is his name? Kashima. You hear the dogs? Sakamoto versus Kashima is dope. Kashima is, and it's funny. We got another kind of. No, actually, that's a different guy. I was gonna say another Doflamingo, but that's a different guy from the Kashima group. He was a prisoner. But we're gonna go. My boy's getting tired, but we're gonna go Sakamoto versus Kashima. That fight scene was sick. Sakamoto Days has very underrated fight scenes. Hand-to-hand combat is great, so the choreography is really, really good. Obviously, the animation is really good, and Kashima, the backstory there is not super, super in-depth. Kashima's kind of just a crazy dude who wants to pretty much help Slur, a.k.a. X, take over you know, the Assassin's World, the Japan Assassin's World, and pretty much destroy the Assassin Association. I don't really know too much about this JoJo's fight. I'm sorry, but we're gonna be going Sakamoto versus Kashima. And this is probably this next round. You hear the music. Yeah, yeah. All right, so this round right here is going to be the last round of part 1. Okay, everybody? So this is part 1. We got all of our winners here. Okay? I think you guys can see that. We got all of our winners here from the first bracket. We're going to continue part 2 tomorrow at an earlier time than tonight's stream. So we're going to continue, and then we're going to continue with the winners bracket after this. All Might versus All for One. Okay, that's one of my favorite fights. Oh my god. That's not even fair, bro. They left us off with a fucking banger, bro. I said this is going to be the last round. Oh no, dude. The thing is, Madara versus Might Guy was so short-lived because Might Guy couldn't maintain the 8 gates long enough to really do any more damage than what he did, right? He only had one chance, right? And Risotto versus Doppio. My bad, Drew. My bad. I just seen your comment and I moved on from it. But I like Sakamoto and Kashima, man. But I haven't seen Risotto and Doppio. I'm going to take your word for it. We're going to do a loser's bracket as well, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to have to do a lot of work. This is going to be like a 5-6 part thing. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get all the losers, and I'm going to put them in a loser bracket because it will be double elimination. So, Drew, make sure you stick around. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on because we are going to be coming back with part 2 where we'll be doing the rest of this round, which will be the winner's round, and then part 3 will probably be the loser's bracket. You want down? Okay, I'm gonna rock you. We're almost done. I'm almost done. All right. So Madara and Might Guy was a very short-lived fight, and there was a lot on the line. Might Guy, I know everybody was going crazy because everyone loves Rock Lee so much that we knew Might Guy was strong, and if Rock Lee can almost reach the 8 gates, we knew Might Guy could easily go 8 gates, but we knew if he goes 8 gates, he's probably going to die. He ends up not dying. He survives it, and he only breaks his leg. Well, pretty much turns it almost into dust. And I don't know why they didn't just reanimate his leg like they did with Naruto's arm. But, oh, man. All Might versus All for One is iconic. It's the best fight of My Hero Academia Season 1. Probably one of the best fights of all time in My Hero Academia. And it was, oh man, it was All Might's last hurrah. It's one of my favorite anime fights. I would put a different Madara fight in there. If this was like Madara versus the 5 Kage, right? I would pick that fight. Because I thought Madara carried the Great Ninja War so hard. We could even put Madara versus Hashirama, I guess, maybe. That's still, I think Might Guy was better than that though. But I thought Madara pre this and then post this fight had better fights. I'm gonna go All Might versus All for One. That might sound crazy. That might be a hot take. Oh, we actually have to do one more round to break even here. So we'll do one more round. Because we're gonna need an opponent for this fight. Because we got E-Soul versus New Soul versus Sakamoto versus Kashima. And then we're gonna have All Might versus All for One versus whatever this next winner of this next fight's gonna be. Okay, Charizard versus Articuno. Ooh, Amu versus Caesar. Don't know what the fuck that is. I have no idea what the fuck anime is that from. That shit looks wild. That looks like Ragnarok. Is that Ragnarok? Am I wrong? Oh no, it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh fuck. See, that was gonna be my next guess because they're so handsome. I haven't seen that fight. If you're a JoJo's fan, let me know right now because I don't know if I could pick a fucking Pokemon fight. To be honest, like I haven't even seen Pokemon. I might just pick Wamu versus Caesar. I might just pick that fight just off of principle here because I've never seen a chart. Like, I don't care about Pokemon, bro. That's probably the one anime I could be like, next. I don't gotta watch a single nothing from that. Anime, the Pokemon games are fun. I've played a lot of Pokemon games. I've watched the Pokemon movie, the first one, and then I watched the one with Hoopa because I thought he was cool. But other than that, I don't really be fucking with Pokemon like that. So I'm gonna go Wamu versus Caesar, and that shit looks lit. That shit looks crazy, to be honest. All right. So far I'll just run down what we got in the winners bracket so far before we hop off here. We got Lee versus Gaara versus Luffy versus Lucci, and then Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui versus STTGL versus Anti-Spiral, aka Gurren Lagann, and then we got Goji versus. Oh yeah, Goji versus Toji 2. Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki, which might just be the winner of it all because of, my bias. Sanji and Queen versus Midoriya and Muscular. Kenpachi and Neutra versus Goku and Vegeta versus Broly. Mob versus Teokama. I forget. I can't. Tiama? I don't know. My fucking handwriting is so bad. It's oh my god. Why'd I do this to myself? Shinra versus Sho. And then Gintoko versus Oboro versus Netero and Miriam. Then we got Gohan and Cell versus Tokido and Gyoto. Kurapika versus Uvagin versus Goku and Vegeta. Ichigo and Aizen versus what is this one? You hurt your foot? Rurouni Kenshin and Saito. And then we got Sukuna versus Jogo versus Ryoko versus Rugio. I forget that one. Isol versus Musou versus Sakamoto and Kashima. All Might and All For One versus Wamu and Caesar. So make sure you guys tune in for the next one. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bells on. Make sure you become a member if you want to support the channel. I appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Part 2 tomorrow. Deuces, everybody.